we're back.
Hey everyone, we are back. Excited to be
Yes,
back. And
indeed.
I know it's
Movie
been a
news.
while. I know we got some movie news, and it's been a while.
Yes.
So uh, there's reasons for that. Gary, how about
hmm
you tell everyone what our reasons, at least one of our reasons were?
Reasons are, let's see, family and jobs and
Yeah.
traveling. Yep.
Yes. Pretty
Uh,
much.
yes. Last week, Efren and I took a bunch of the high school students to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee,
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it. We got a cabin in the mountains. We
Yep.
were there all week. We had the hopes of doing a show at the cabin, but
Yes.
it did not. It did not work. Um, not for bad reasons. We just had other things going on. You know.
Yep. We had this great dream and this
Mhm.
great idea, and
Mhm.
then we get there, and then schedules
You know.
change. So
Yep. Those of you that are watching with us that are in youth ministry, you know how it goes.
yeah.
You know, and it's a
Yeah.
nice, fun getaway though.
Yeah,
Glad
but
to
it
be back.
was, yeah, glad to be back. And then last week, I was gone. I had to go pick up the children from the grandparents' house and stuff. And so I took my stuff again with hopes of going live, and it just didn't
Mhm.
happen. So
Mhm.
we are glad to be back now,
Yes,
and glad that we have some fun movie news to talk about.
we do. Do we ever have some news? Movie
Hmm.
news.
So before that,
Do, do, do,
Gary,
do, do, do,
is there
do, do.
anything?
I had to do my news sound. Sorry. So,
Yeah, I like it. So
yeah.
anything new you watched lately, my man?
Nothing new. Crazy busy. VBS week and other stuff going on, traveling. However, I am happy to report that the wife and I finally got the wife to watch A Quiet Place with me.
Oh, good.
That is what we did with our downtime last Friday when we got back
Hmm.
from Tennessee. Um, she liked it a lot. Didn't love it as much as I was hoping she was going to. I
Hmm.
think maybe I built it up too much. You know how that goes sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was nice to revisit that movie though, and
Hmm.
noticed a lot of stuff that I didn't notice the first time around.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, but other than that, I think that might be the last thing I watched, honestly. Other
Yeah.
than random Office episodes that I watched throughout the week just to calm my
Hmm.
brain down. So,
Yeah.
how about you? How
Yeah.
about you?
So since the last time we've been on, I was able to watch the Psych 2 movie,
Oh
um,
yes,
which was great. Which I'm just gonna have you guys over so y'all can
yeah,
watch it since y'all can't get to it
I
because
know.
of your TV
Daggone,
setup.
daggone
So
Roku. I don't know who to blame, Roku or Peacock or
yeah,
I don't know.
just blame somebody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, blame somebody.
But yeah, but because I would love to do a review of that movie, but I want you to see
Hmm.
it so we can do that review together.
Oh yeah.
And if it's a little late, who cares? I'm sure people will slowly
Hmm.
discover it once they figure out Peacock and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, but so I
totally.
watched that, and then what was the other thing? Oh, we Amazon Prime has some new Jim Gaffigan specials,
Does
so
it
I watched
really?
some stand up. Yes, and it
Okay.
was there's three of them on there. So and they've been hilarious.
Three.
Well, the third one I haven't finished, but the first two were
Okay.
great. So
Gaffigan's the man.
he is the man.
He's so great.
Yeah. So that's what's on there now.
Cool. I'll have to check those out too.
Yes,
He's one
please
of my
do.
favorites. Um,
Yeah.
oh, I guess the other thing, while we were at the cabin we were at had an amazing theater room,
Mm,
and it was like legit theater room.
yeah.
And we're gonna have to maybe Monday we should show some pictures of that room to our viewers.
Yes, I do have pictures.
Um, and was it Monday night or Tuesday night we watched Jurassic Park?
When we got there, Monday night.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
Monday
Monday
night.
night,
Yeah, that was
and it
fun.
was great.
Yeah.
That was an 80-inch, 85-inch TV or
Mhm.
something in there.
Mhm.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yes.
So
Very good.
we'll definitely have to show pictures of that on Monday.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. So digging into
Whoever
the.
created that theater room spared no expense. Sorry.
Hey, I don't blame you. Spare no expense.
It was there. I had to take. I had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I just think of even Jurassic World. Spare no expense.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep hitting the
Um,
microphone. Sorry.
yeah. Oh, you're good. So digging into our movie news that we
Hmm.
promised that is on here. So we got some things that are exciting, some things that are what? Maybe
Hmm.
exciting. I don't know. And
Hmm.
then something that is a surprise, which we'll dig into what that surprise is.
Hmm.
So so the first one coming up here is is the AMC and Universal strike, a historic deal,
Yeah.
and And these two, in case you guys didn't know, these two have been in a feud
Oh yeah.
since Corona hit. Universal decided to release Trolls World Tour straight to streaming, or VOD as they call it. They
My
also
daughter was
released.
excited about that.
Yes, that is yes,
Hmm.
exactly. They were excited about that. They also, I mean, there's a couple of other movies they released. I think Scoob was one of them under the Universal umbrella. Or was that Warner Brothers? I can't remember. But at any rate, so they had some movies that went straight to streaming, and AMC was not happy about it. The reason why, and the AMC said, you know what we're going to do? We are going to just boycott like anything from Universal. And as they boycotted that, it caused a huge rift. The reason why AMC and Regal came behind them too and said, "Hey AMC, we got your back." And the reason why is because there is a contract out there that says when a studio releases a movie, what needs to happen is that they need to leave them in theaters for at least 90 days.
Hmm.
And so they'll be in theaters for 90 days, and then after those 90 days, then they can release on home video, streaming, whatever. And then that's kind of been what's been going on. So there's been this big feud with them and Universal because Universal's the first one who did this because they're just like, we're just trying to get our money, and theaters are cut out. So if theaters can't show movies, they can't make money.
Nope.
And so now this historic deal, and the reason why it's historic is that Universal and AMC have agreed to where when they release movies from now on, they can release them for 17 days, which is essentially 3 weekends. So the first 3 weekends of a movie, when the movies make the most money anyways. And then
Yeah.
after that 17 days, then they can release it on VOD, streaming, home video, whatever. So there is now a 17-day window. Now, what we need to see, just first off, Gary, as you continue to think about this,
Hmm.
this is like Universal made this deal with AMC, but Regal hasn't agreed to this deal. If you look up, I think there's a couple websites. If you look up Regal's response, you can look it up and see it. Regal's response is like, "We're not happy about this at all." Like it's almost like a AMC, we had your back,
Yeah, I wouldn't
and
be
now,
happy either.
yeah, and now you kind of screwed us over. So they're not happy about that. Because of course they want the 90 days and stuff like that. But we don't really know how this is going to pan out. This is just AMC and Universal saying, "Hey, we reached a compromise where we can be friends again." But
Yeah.
how is this going to pan out? We don't know. What are your thoughts, Gary?
My thoughts are, wow. I feel like this is two sides that are getting a head start, and it pains me to say this, and I
Hmm.
hope I'm wrong, but I'll just go ahead and be honest with you and our viewers. I'm not very optimistic of the future of theaters right now.
Hmm.
I hope I'm wrong. I really do. If I'm wrong, I'll walk in and I will gladly sit next to you in a theater and say, "Thank God I was wrong."
Yeah.
But I think these are two sides that are trying to get a head start on what's going to be the new normal.
Hmm.
And I think what it's going to be is, video on demand is what's going to be continue to take over.
Right.
And I think it's two sides saying, all right, we both want a piece of everything, so here's how we meet in the middle. You get it, and then we get it, and
Yeah.
then we get to stream it. Um, yeah, not exactly thrilled about it though, because I mean, you're right in the sense of that 17 days, that 3 weekends, that's where it makes the most money.
Hmm.
But we're seeing more and more people. We see it within the church. More and more people are not wanting to leave their homes.
Yeah.
And if a movie comes out, and they can say, well, I can either go to the theater or I can wait a couple weeks and see it. That's majority of people, unfortunately, aren't like you and I,
Hmm.
passionate about going to
Yeah.
the theater and having that theatrical experience. They're gonna
Hmm.
wait, and I don't
Yeah.
think this spells good for the future of theaters.
Yeah.
Just my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. This kind of stinks. Like like, and that's the thing. Like with all this, it's like we got to see what happens.
Hmm.
But it's true. Like if people know they can wait 17 days and then they can pay $20 to rent a movie for the whole family to watch instead of
Hmm.
going to a theater and paying maybe $20, depending on the size of your family, 20 to 30
Hmm.
bucks for tickets and then snacks and everything else,
Snacks. Hmm.
and they're like, well, maybe we can just wait.
Do I
Maybe
have to
that's
wear
what
a
they do.
mask? Do I not wear a mask?
Yeah, but seeing is you bringing that up, that's what makes me wonder is this like just a temporary deal? Because the thing is, no specifics have been released about this yet. They're
That's
playing
true.
this like pretty close. And my question is this just like the coronavirus deal? Like
Hmm.
as theaters start to open up, they know not a lot of people are going to go right back to the theater, or at least they think they know. And
Hmm.
And so maybe they won't run back. So, hey, here's the deal, at least until this
Hmm.
Corona stuff goes away, and then it'll
Hmm.
go back to normal. Is that what they're saying? Or is
Yeah.
it like what you're saying? This is the new normal. This is the
Hmm.
direction we want to go. And
Hmm.
if it is the new normal, and that kind of sucks because it does
Yes.
seem like the beginning of the end of the movie theater experience if this is what ends up happening.
Yeah. For the sake of AMC, I hope there's something tagged on there where it is till the Corona deal or the COVID deal,
Yeah.
whatever we're calling it these days, to
Yeah.
where when things do come back to normal, then okay, we're back to this. But
Yeah.
um, there, like everything else this year, we shall see. You know,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not very optimistic because I just read about more baseball games being canceled today because of
Yeah.
positive test, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so what I'm afraid of and what could happen is other studios following suit and being like, all right, you know, here,
Mm-hmm.
or Disney just saying, you know what, everything's going on Disney Plus, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it would not be good,
Yeah.
not be
The
good.
only thing I wonder is this is because I just don't know. But the only
Hmm.
thing I wonder is how much money, like, do they really make their money back on streaming? Like, if people pay for the service,
Yeah.
like Disney Plus just releasing on Disney Plus or Netflix, you already
Hmm.
pay for the monthly service. Like,
Hmm.
how do they make money? Like, that's
That is
that's
true.
you know that's something for someone smarter to figure out.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
would they be making the same money? Like, would Avengers Endgame made
Hmm.
2.8 billion or nine, whatever it ended up million? Like, does it still
Hmm.
make that kind of money? And
Yeah.
that's where I'm just kind of wondering because like on one end I can understand Universal trying to push this because much like a car or other things, the longer it sits, the more
Hmm.
worthless it becomes. And
Hmm.
the same with like their movies. The longer it sits, if they had $100 million budget, they need to make that
Hmm.
money back.
Hmm.
So like what is it that's going on? Like how does they make money? They go straight to streaming. Like I don't know about all that,
Yeah.
but it's I
That's
mean I guess
interesting.
it's kind of the same thing like TV shows. The ratings determine stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. That's yeah. Like you said, that's for I don't know. It might be a situation where they have exclusive content that it just goes to streaming, like
Hmm.
Mandalorian stuff like that. Just speaking, of Disney, but like if they release, the new Marvel movie, maybe you got to pay, you know,
Right.
an extra so and so to your monthly bill, you know,
Yeah.
um, to watch that big movie because they're not making money in the theaters.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. That's for sure.
Yeah. I know Jim's back on here. He's saying he's
Hey
like
Jim.
how Harry, his son Harry would talk about movies, and he's like, man, I haven't been to theater in like over 25 years. Like,
Oh man.
so there's a lot of people. I mean, there's plenty of people I'm sure in that same boat
Hmm.
where they
Yeah.
haven't been to theaters, so they just kind of wait. But
Hmm.
like, obviously the theaters didn't die yet because of
No.
Avengers and other stuff.
Hmm.
So what ends up happening? That's what I'm
Yeah.
definitely curious about. Is
Hmm.
what's going to happen with this? I don't know.
It's gonna be
But
very interesting to see what happens. But makes
yeah,
me nervous. As someone
yeah,
who loves going to theater, loves that environment, we'll see.
yeah. We'll see. And I mean, Regal's not happy about it, so maybe there's something there that happens. We'll see what Disney thinks about it.
Hmm.
We'll see what Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is feels like it's practically ran by Christopher Nolan, anyways, and we know how
Yeah.
he feels
Yeah.
about the theater experience. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see what happens. But that's the deal, and I personally
And
don't like it. But then again,
yeah.
it's 3 weekends. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
honestly,
it's
that's where
still
they make the
happening.
most. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still theater
Hmm.
first.
Hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm. And you know what? And also let's wait to see because I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we have other things to talk about as far as like dates and release dates and openings. But
Right.
um, so those opening dates for theaters will tell a lot as well. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so
Which
yeah.
does already bring us to our next one here, and I want to bring this up with the same conversation, just because of we'll just
Hmm.
go ahead and throw this up. Oh, my picture didn't show up as I wanted it to, but that's all right. Um, so when talking about theaters reopening, so Regal and AMC are set to open August 21st. They have always planned to open before other stuff
Hmm.
opens up. So August 21st, there might be, I know like there's like some unhinged movie with Russell Crowe or something.
Hmm.
There's some movies that are planning like to be open at that time. They've talked about re-releasing older movies and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So this is the date that they have set to reopen. And I don't know, what do you feel now? Like, do you think this one will stick, or do you think we're going to be moving back? What do you think, Gary?
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the negative guy today, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And I don't, because I mean, this is what is this, the third date we're throwing on our show, and it keeps
Yeah.
getting pushed back and keeps getting pushed back, and
Hmm.
um, I I hope not. I mean, I hope so, but
Yeah.
hope I'm wrong. But I just don't see it.
Yeah. You don't see it. I know.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little more optimistic on this one. Just I guess because of well, I guess I'm waiting more to see like even like for us in North Carolina, like
Hmm.
is it this week or something? The governor's supposed to say like if we're moving to phase
Yeah.
three, if we move to phase three, theaters, gyms, bars,
Hmm.
all that stuff are allowed to open back up.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of curious to see like if he's like nope and other states are nope, then I'm like well that ain't happening, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
kind of waiting to see. But I'm a little bit more optimistic because it seems like we're getting closer to the
Yeah.
time where more and more people are like, listen, we're ready to like get
Hmm.
back to normal.
I
And
hope so.
yeah, I hope so too. And one thing like I was thinking about was like when people talk about theaters. Well, I don't know if I'm going to go back to theaters because of mass, this, that, the other. You know, one thing it was brought up on another. I forget which show I was watching, but another show,
Hmm.
and John Campea. Um,
Hmm.
but he brought up a very good point that I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a lot. There's a lot of people saying, I don't know if I'm like, you hear a lot, social media, whatever. I don't know if I'm ready to get back. I don't know if I
Hmm.
want to go to theaters, restaurants, churches. Like, I don't know if we're going to go back. But the
Hmm.
second theaters opened up, this is what he said. The second theaters opened up, I mean, not theaters, second restaurants opened up,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
people flocked back to them.
Hmm.
Like, people flocked back. They social distance, mask, whatever. Okay,
Hmm.
people flocked back. So I think there's going to be a lot more people who are ready to go to the theater than we think. And
Yeah.
this is
That's
where
true.
even that deal with Universal, it might like,
Hmm.
that's where some of the we'll see comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, and that the restaurant points that's a really good point because there are a lot of people. I think you and I are very similar. We're just ready for some type of normalcy, and
Hmm.
going to theater does represent that. And yeah, trying to see if we'll go back to phase three, or to phase three. Haven't been there yet. Um,
Right.
back to phase three, but that'll tell a lot. And
Hmm.
you see, I hope so. I hope it does open up. Um, and we'll get some normalcy back and
Hmm.
start to get back into the swing of things. But and the other thing, wearing mask and all that. Um, a lot of people said I won't wear a mask to the grocery store. I refuse. I won't wear a mask to the
Yeah.
restaurants. Well, we're all doing it now, and
Hmm.
it is what it is. By the way, I forgot my mask yesterday. I went into Publix. And
Uh
I had to go in and out, and oh my gosh, you would have thought I was robbing the place.
huh.
um, but I think if we have to wear masks at the theater, okay, I
Yeah.
think people will do it. But
Well, and it seems
yeah,
like it'd be
we'll
the
see.
same. Yeah, and it seems like it'd be the same thing like with restaurants. Wear your mask
Hmm.
in and out when you're talking,
Hmm.
whatever. But when you're sitting down and you're shoving popcorn in your face or whatever snack, like they're
Hmm.
not expecting you to
Yeah,
wear your mask. And if
yeah,
they
yeah.
block off rows, if they say like social distance and stuff, like kind of like what we're doing in the church and other places,
Hmm.
like if you do those kinds of things, like I think it'll be just fine.
Hmm.
And maybe theaters will try to get more showings in. So if
Hmm.
they know they can only work at let's say 50% capacity, maybe
Hmm.
they can figure out a way to put more shows in for these movies because there's not a whole lot coming out. So like when Tenet comes
Hmm.
out, which we'll talk here in a second, like
Hmm.
you can show more. Like what they did with Avengers Endgame, they knew it was going to be big. They had
Yeah,
more
more and
theaters
more
for it.
showings. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think
yeah,
they can work
and
around it.
I think that they can do. That's a really good point. They can do like we're doing here at the church, like you said. Like what we do here is we wear masks in the lobby. Volunteers with the kids wear masks the whole
Hmm.
time. And once we go into the worship center, sit down, everyone, those who want to remove their mask.
Right.
A theater could be very similar.
Yeah.
That would be
So
cool.
yeah, and I think the measures are taken and stuff. I mean, at least for me, it's not going to deter me if it actually opens on the 21st, which I am hoping.
Yeah, I hope
Um,
so.
yeah, I'm hoping so. And then, so I'm hoping that ends up happening. And again, theaters like the National Theater Owners Association or something, they're
Hmm.
like making a plea to Congress and all this stuff. Like, let us do this. Like,
Hmm.
this is our livelihood. Like, we
Oh
own
yeah.
these franchises. Like, we need
Hmm.
to get back to work. So we'll see. We'll see what all the push and everything ends up coming into.
Hmm.
Um, So, and this is fun. Like everything we talk about kind of flows into each other.
I know,
So,
right?
yeah.
Great
So,
job.
so talking about Tenet. All right. So
Yes.
um, Tenet is set to release. Now, see, this is where like even the Universal deal and
Hmm.
just different stuff is happening. So here's something that's a little bit different. So
Hmm.
Tenet is set to open overseas because theaters and stuff there have started to reopen or are about to be reopened,
Hmm.
and they know what's going to happen. The coronavirus has like died down, I guess, enough for them to do it. So
Hmm.
Tenet is set to open overseas on August 25th.
Hmm.
So theaters are set to open the 21st, August 25th. Tenet is set to open overseas, but they set the date for the U.S. September 3rd, which would be Labor Day weekend.
Hmm.
Because they're again, Tenet is the same thing. They want the theater release,
Oh
but
yeah.
they're like, okay, if overseas is open, let's go ahead and start making money overseas, and then it'll come out in the U.S. Usually this is backwards. Usually like
Hmm.
it'll open up in the U.S. first, and then it'll open up overseas. If unless it's like worldwide, most of them are worldwide, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's the opposite. So here we have again. Oh, it opens like I guess that's what just a week early, a few days early,
Hmm.
overseas. What do you think about this? There's a lot to think about. What do you think about this,
Yeah.
Gary?
Bring it on. Bring it on. I hope, man, if we get theaters open on August 21st and then a couple weeks later we get Tenet, I'll be so ecstatic. I'll be so happy,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great weekend to open it. We should
Uh
have
huh.
already seen it, but things happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that this movie belongs in the theater. You see it right there on the shot on IMAX
Yeah.
film. Yeah, and I've made a decision that if I'm waiting for this, and I don't think it'll be like, um, I know Christopher Nolan, what he said. I think he'll wait as long as he has to for this to be. I don't think it'll be a whole like video on demand, and then you know what I mean.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm waiting. This is I want this to be the first thing I see back in the theater. You know.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. I will say for
so
me, the first new thing. I may go
first new
back
thing,
to
yeah.
see something else again, but
Hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, because they're gonna do the classic releases, right? Like the older
yeah.
movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. But yeah, the first new thing, yeah, this and some other stuff. But yeah, September 3rd. Well, let's see. Hope it happens.
Yeah. I
Be
know for
great.
me, here's all I know. Theaters open back up August 25th. I'm staying off the interwebs. Like, I do
Yeah,
not want to be
yeah.
spoiled. I don't want to
Ooh.
see anything, I'm
Hmm.
sure there's going to be some pirating issues and stuff. I don't want to see anything about, I have no idea what this movie's
Hmm.
about. I guess a
Hmm.
little bit, but like not really.
Hmm.
I want to keep it that
Hmm.
way.
Same.
So August 25th, because it seems like like that's going to happen. Like it's releasing
Oh
August
yeah,
25th. Whether it
it's
opens
going
up here
somewhere.
on the 3rd,
Hmm.
but it's opening. So I'm just like, I'm staying off the internet.
Yeah,
Um,
same. This will be released somewhere in the world August 25th.
yeah.
Let's take a
Yeah.
field trip. Go see it somewhere in another country.
I know, right?
You know.
I know. I'm like seriously. I've even had the thought like, all right, if North Carolina doesn't open up, but South Carolina does, I'm going to
Dude,
South
let's do it.
Carolina to watch Tenet.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like, come on, Gary, let's go. Let's go
yeah.
watch this
I
thing. And
got some. I know some places we can stay. Patterson, we're gonna crash at your house.
there we
We're
go.
gonna go see Tenet.
Yeah.
So.
So, but we're just continue seeing this battle of
Uh-huh.
theaters. What's going to happen? Thankfully, again, Christopher Nolan, he's a
Hmm.
theater guy, movie theater experience, and it's true. You and I know, you can have the best. Like, I mean, like we talked about the cabin, right? Amazing
Hmm.
theater room
Hmm.
doesn't replace an actual theater experience.
No, 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 no.
So we're looking forward to that. But then um, on the flip side of things, Bill and Ted Face the
Yeah.
Music
Yes.
has an interesting approach as well,
Hmm.
and their approach. This one, I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to think about this, man.
Hmm.
Uh, but their approach is they're going to release it on September 1st on
Hmm.
VOD, streaming, whatever. And then whatever theaters happen to be open at that
Hmm.
time. So if certain states have theaters that are open, it'll be in theaters there. If people can't get to a theater, well, guess what?
Hmm.
It's also on VOD. So their approach is we're going to release it everywhere.
Yeah.
Theaters,
Interesting.
non-theaters, they're just going to release it everywhere. This might be a case of, hey, like the longer this, like I said earlier, this is sitting too long. We need to get
Yeah.
money in.
Yeah.
Um, so, but at any rate, like this is where they're at. What do you think, Gary?
I think that's exactly the case. They don't want it to sit on the shelf too long. This isn't. I mean, I'm excited about this movie. I thought the last trailer we got was absolutely hilarious. I
Hmm.
watched it again this morning. I'm very interested in what they're gonna do. But yeah. I mean, not everybody can do what Christopher Nolan's doing and
Right.
just wait and hold out. Like some studio, they got to get movies out and make something on it. And it's kind of a backwards approach, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it, but it's very interesting how they're going about it. But I guess it's just kind of what they feel like they got to do.
Yeah.
Times we're in, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing I find interesting though, which I wonder, see, like I'm almost like I wouldn't mind this model. It say this ended up being the new normal. It just
Hmm.
releases everywhere, theaters
Hmm.
and at home. Now, granted, I don't see how theaters would last, but
Yeah.
like I at least like the approach of if you want to go to theater, go. If you don't,
Hmm.
it's at home on demand. Because the thing is, even with on demand, you pay to rent it. You have it for 48 hours or
Yeah, you're
whatever.
still paying.
You
Yeah.
can watch it and then that's it. And then if you want to watch it again after that, you have to pay again. So still have kind of that direction of it. So I think that's interesting. And here's Scott. Yes, maybe on topic, maybe not. It is,
No, very much. Yeah.
she likes the potential of paying $20 for the whole family to watch a movie instead of 15 to $20 per ticket in theaters. Now she lives in California,
Mm.
so her ticket prices are higher than ours. But even
Yeah.
even for us, I mean, we can pay anywhere from, depending on what day you go and stuff, we can pay
Hmm.
anywhere from $5 to $15
Hmm.
per ticket. So kind of in
Yeah.
that same boat. But this is exactly what
Yeah.
we're
And I
talking
get that.
about.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I do.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
like with Bill and Ted, for instance, like if you want the whole family to go, you can
Hmm.
pay like you can take the whole family for those prices, or you can pay $20 and the whole family can stay at home and watch.
Hmm.
And that's where I think
It's just
you
going to
know
vary family to family, person to person.
yeah.
There's going to be those families that, like, I think you may have already said, they just want to get out of the house,
Hmm.
and it's like, let's go, go see Bill and Ted and, grab, Taco Bell afterward and talk about it and just to get out,
Yeah.
you know, or, hey, let's all gather on the couch, make our own popcorn and watch it.
Yeah.
This, I, when theaters do open up and, I'm very interested to see how things fall out. How
Yeah.
things break down. Like the number of people that stay home watch movies, number of people that go to the theater. It's just
Hmm.
it's gonna be very interesting.
Yes. Yes. Very interesting. And I think like a Bill and Ted, for instance. Like
Hmm.
you and I, our kids are probably too young to watch this movie. I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
no, so for us, like we
yeah.
want to see this in the theater.
Hmm.
But like if a movie comes out, if a Disney movie, Pixar movie, or something comes out, and it
Hmm.
has kind of the same model of okay, you can watch it at home, rent it for $20 for the whole family, or
Hmm.
you can go to theater. Like I'll be honest, with three kids, I'm a
Hmm.
lot more tempted just to stay at home and pay the twenty
Yeah.
bucks because they don't. I mean, I take that back. They do know the wonders of the theater experience because I've taken them enough.
Hmm.
But like they're still at the age where they're just as happy
Yeah.
watching it at home.
Same.
So
Same with mine.
so that side is kind of like it'd be kind of hard. Do I want to spend
Yeah.
40 to $50 for a family night out, or I can spend $20?
Hmm.
Like,
I think what is gonna happen. And I'll just speak to my family, and
right,
I think theaters will open up. And I think what a lot of people will do, the theater experience will be saved for those epic movies, you
yeah,
know. And that's kind of what I do now anyway. I don't get to go as much as I would like when they were
hmm,
open, but like when Star Wars came out, I'm going to see it in the theater. When Tenet comes out, I'm going to see
yeah,
it in the theater. Anything Marvel, I'm going to see in the theater. Stuff like Bill and Ted, stuff that I want to see, but it's not like that. I mean, I love Bill and Ted, but it's not that epic.
yeah,
I'll probably be sitting on my couch video on
hmm,
demand, eating stuffed crust pizza, cheating on my
yeah,
diet, watching a movie,
yeah,
So I think, and I got a feeling that's where a lot of people are going to go, lead
yeah.
to, you know.
Which a lot of people were kind of already there though.
Hmm.
Like where
Yeah.
they may go to the movie theaters a couple times a year just to see the big
Hmm.
blockbuster type of movies.
Hmm.
So like a lot of people are already there. So like I can understand that. The only problem with what you're saying, like not that you're wrong or anything, but I'm just saying like
No,
for
yeah,
movie theaters, the
it's
only
not going to be
problem,
good for them. Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to be good for them because then essentially they're going to be running, movies only a few every couple months or something, or like just the summer months and maybe Christmas
Hmm.
months, like so they won't have the constant like flow. Like for me, like AMC made the A list. I'm on the A
Hmm.
list.
Hmm.
I probably went almost every week, and I
Hmm.
just watched something because I could,
Yeah.
and and then it enticed me. The movies that I would not have seen in theaters, I was like,
You,
why not?
you
I
go
have
see
the,
it, yeah.
So I think that's where some of the stuff kind of breaks down. And so, but something like Bill and Ted, like I want to see in the theater, because I wasn't old enough to see the other two in theater, so I want to see this one. And then, but like I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Tenet, like we just talked about, how that pans out with releasing where it can. We'll see how Bill and Ted pans out with VOD, and then whatever theaters are open. It's a lot of. We just got to see how this all works out.
Yeah. Yep. Theme of the year. We'll see.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. Like what
Oh, it's
is going to
definitely.
happen?
Has there been any news, any word on A Quiet Place 2? Like what they plan to do with that?
Pushed back to 2021.
Oh,
I
has it
think it's
really?
I think it's March 2021.
Okay.
Where they pushed that back. A lot of stuff got pushed to 2021, which
Yeah.
that's where people were saying it's like I can't go to the movie theater every other day. Like stop putting everything in 2021. Like still plan on releasing
Yeah.
something this
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
So that's what I've heard
Man.
some people say.
Hmm.
But yeah,
That's
that
a
got pushed to
whole
2021.
year for that movie because that was supposed to come out this March, wasn't it? When this March was supposed
Yeah,
to
this
come out?
past
Yeah.
March or April, one of the two.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but some exciting news.
Yes.
So just moving right along here. So that's kind of the what if and
Hmm.
kind of what's happening, where we're at, and kind of our thoughts on it. And because again, we love the movie theater experience, so we're hoping everything
We
just
do.
kind of goes back to somewhat normal. We know it probably
Yeah.
won't, but somewhat normal.
Yep.
But something else that we
Snyder
saw
Cut
is some of the
news.
Snyder Cut news. Man, every time there's Snyder
Yeah.
Cut news,
Bring it on.
you got to talk about it, don't you? I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
so here's again. I just had to show the epic picture.
Epicness. Look at that.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Let's just here, everyone, just take a good look at that epicness. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Squad goals. People still,
Yes,
do we still is that still a thing? People still say that? I know it was a big thing for
it
a
is
while.
now. You just said it, so there you go.
Brought it back.
Brought it back.
Yeah.
Squad goals. Maybe I can
Yeah.
speak. There it is. Um, so that is still exciting. So a couple things to talk about with this. One, Zack Snyder did confirm this will not be a part of the ongoing DCEU.
Hmm.
So this is, so the Justice League we got is part of the DCEU, and then this is like extra features, I guess. I don't know, but like, so which honestly, for me, I'm just kind of like, whatever. We're getting this movie. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the thing that came out though about this is apparently Zack Snyder, he confirmed that everything that we will see in this cut are only the things that he shot for this movie. So nothing that Josh Whedon went back and shot or anything like that. This is his movie, everything he shot. What do you think, Gary?
Does this mean we do not have to see the Superman Henry Cavill mustache, not mustache thing?
I guess in theory, because he shot
Yeah.
everything, and
That
then
was
when
all
Whedon,
Josh Whedon.
didn't when
Yeah.
Whedon came back, he had his
Mhm.
stuff for the
Because he
Mission
had the Mission
Impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. So that makes me happy because that was awful. Gosh, it was so awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Nothing against Josh Whedon, but this is Snyder Cut. We want to see what he wanted to do with this movie, and this just confirms this is the legit Snyder Cut. This is him doing what he needs to do, telling his version of this story, and this is great news.
Yeah.
Really good news.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that it's like, listen, this is which further confirms, but I'm glad it's like this is my stuff, which to me further confirms the fact that like the Snyder Cut's always been done in the sense that everything was shot.
Oh yeah.
But it just didn't. They didn't do all the CGI and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So it was like, yeah. So that's why it's like when Warner Brothers was like, there is no Snyder Cut. You bunch of liars. Like
Yeah, I know, right?
the movie was done, and then because of what happened, he couldn't finish the CGI. So Josh Whedon came in to finish the whole thing, and reshot some stuff. And it's like, listen, but I'm glad that this is like this will be his movie.
Yeah.
And I'm high hopes. I don't know if it's too high, but high hopes that it ends up being like a Batman v Superman. The proper edition,
Yes.
where we get what we're actually supposed to get.
Yes. And when this was announced, I was you guys go back to the first episode, the It's Happening episode, talking about how excited I was. In the back of my mind, though, because I'm just in a negative space this year, whatever. I was also like, we're gonna get this, and it's gonna be like, okay, that was cool. It was the Snyder Cut, but not really. But this just
Mm-hmm.
confirms we're getting the Snyder Cut. This is no
Yeah.
like, kind of, a little bit extended footage, but no, this is gonna be his movie.
Yeah.
So
So here's a little something I found, Gary. I don't know if you had saw it or not.
yeah,
If you saw it, maybe it's not a surprise. But
yeah.
just further with the Snyder Cut stuff, man,
Hmm.
like this is just phenomenal. Check this out. There's a little bit of chit chat. This is the best I could find, but check this
I
out.
hope it's what I think it is. Yeah.
See how you see that kind of charcoal in the cape? It's just that little.
Sounds like it might be Snyder or someone talking. I don't know.
Yep.
Assuming you're Alfred.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
there you go. My bad. Let me get that off here.
Yeah.
See how you see that kind
Yeah, it just played
of charcoal
again.
in the cape?
But whoops, I keep pressing the wrong button. My bad, guys.
It's all good.
But
All good.
but yeah, so black suit Superman
Hmm.
and no bad CGI on his face.
No bad CGI on his face. And I remember the original Justice League trailer.
Mhm.
There was some type of clip where Alfred was working on a car and he said something to the extent of about time
He
showed
said
up.
you'd
And
come, or he said you'd
Yeah,
show up, or something like that.
yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, because that movie that never happened in the
Yeah,
cut we got. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, cool.
yeah.
And then seeing Black Suit Superman was just,
Mhm.
this continues to just spark my excitement. Everything they're doing with this,
Yes. And that for me, like, so seeing what we shared, I forget what show it was when we shared the, I guess the last movie news one we did, but when we shared the quick
the
trailer
trailer.
with
Yeah.
Darkseid, and then now seeing this, I'm just like, yes, like this is what we were promised, and
Mhm.
like I like these little things. If they want to, like, don't give me a full trailer. If you want to
No.
keep giving me these quick little 15-second snippets, I'm down, and keep me excited. So we see the black suit of Superman. We see
I know. So
no
cool.
no CGI face. It's all Snyder
thankfully.
stuff. I'm excited,
Thankfully.
Gary.
Me too. And yeah, I agree extremely. That this is all they need to keep giving us. We got the poster, we got the announcement, just little snippets of the movie, just to continue to remind us it's coming. We're working on it, and and take note, studios that are making trailers. We don't need the whole story.
Yes,
I thought, like I said, the Bill and Ted trailer. I mean, it pretty much told us everything, but it
I
was
know.
it was hilarious. This is why I loved it. But even that was just like, okay,
Yeah,
seen the movie now.
yeah. You don't have to show us thing from the third act, people.
I know, right? It's like I'll never understand that.
Yeah.
Why movie theaters do that? But yeah, this extremely excited,
Yeah,
and I know that because it'd be really great if this was going in a theater, but because it's going to be on HBO Max when a date is announced, that'll be firm, and it'll be like, all right, here we go. So
yeah, and hopefully sooner rather than later, because most of the stuff they're doing is in studio. They could still do their probably. I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing since most of it's like they're not like reshooting stuff, so hopefully they're working on it right now, and and be sooner rather than later.
If you're excited about the Snyder Cut, I think I talked about this last time we talked about it, but if you're excited about this, I want to encourage you to go find the YouTube video for the Zoom chat they were all doing. It had like a bunch of the cast, and Zack Snyder were just talking about it, and that's when he announced to all of them they were doing it, and he released the poster, and the excitement they all had. A lot of them started crying. There's so much passion behind this project, and sound kind of cheesy here, but
but it's true.
It makes me even more excited.
But all those people who worked hard on that, and they didn't see what they wanted, all the actors who put their heart and soul into it because they were excited about what they were doing. I mean, this is just exciting. Like and the fact that fandom won, like we harassed the Warner Brothers enough to say, give us the dang movie.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
This is for us,
Yes. Yeah. So moving on to our last bit of news here, that this came as a surprise when I saw it, and I'm like, what a wonderful, wonderful surprise. And it's about the store that we loved growing up, Blockbuster.
Yes.
Blockbuster. So for those of you who love Blockbuster, who love going to Blockbuster on a weekend, rent some things, and get your snacks and all that kind of
What a
stuff.
magical place.
What a magical place it is. So
Yeah.
check this out. Like, look at this. So Bend. So the last standing Blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon, right? And they have like some video stuff or whatever. Here, I'll go ahead and show you this. Let's go to the homepage. Check this out. So like, so here's the last one that's standing again in Bend, Oregon. So they have like new releases and stuff. I guess they're doing like a streaming kind of service thing or whatever. So there's just like their little thing talking about like now it's kind of like a tourism thing.
Yeah.
Just the cool stuff that they're doing. But
The
look at this.
Blockbuster Museum.
Yeah, but look at this. They're selling products.
Yeah.
They're selling Blockbuster products. And when I saw this, I'm like, take my money.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, look at this. You can get a beanie. I'm not gonna lie. I want this hat right here.
Dude, that hat right there that's pretty sick. Look at that.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, I want that hat. Like, look, they got a hoodie.
Keychain.
They have a little keychain. Here's my personal favorite, an old membership card.
Oh, yes.
Like, I've actually seen this game in Target, the Blockbuster Party game. I feel like we need to buy it so we can play it. But
totally.
so you have like a pint.
The last Blockbuster.
Look at that. Like, that's the thing. I love that they're leaning into it. The last one.
And then the sweatpants.
Yeah, look at the sweatpants.
Oh man.
Sunglasses.
Dude, I'd wear those sunglasses. I ain't gonna lie.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, you got a little magnet, got a normal
Classic
t-shirt,
Yeah.
a tote bag. There's another magnet. There's little shot glasses. There's a long sleeve t-shirt. Listen, man. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. This is part of their campaign to like just to keep their doors open. Which I'm like, I'm like, I don't care. I need to support this. I need that. I need that hat. The hoodie would be cool. I want a membership card. I want my membership card to come back.
We need to get these
sweatpants.
We need to get the hats. You and I for our Blockbuster summer series we're doing with the youth group right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So.
But I think this is brilliant. And like I watched the news clip from this, and what I wrote in our rundown was kind of not true because I wrote the last operating Blockbuster selling merch to keep his doors open. But what the lady said is like, people still rent quite a bit, and but the merch sales just skyrocketed, and people, and myself included, we love vintage clothing, vintage things, and especially something like this. Like you and I would wear something like this, and we're not trying to. We were from the Blockbuster generation, what I mean?
Yep.
And this is just the coolest thing, and hats off to them, no pun intended. And that community in Bend, Oregon, I think that's really great that they're continuing to support, that they can keep the doors open because of the support from the community. It's really cool. It's a nice feel-good story.
Yeah, it's a good feel-good story. Like I said, I love the community's doing it. I love that they're doing this to give the rest of the nation an opportunity to continue to support them. I love it. I was a guy that when Blockbusters were closing down, I was constantly going back, buying the DVDs, like, Blu-rays or whatever I could find. Because one, I wanted it cheap, but part of me was like, what if we all do this enough and we keep them open?
I know, right? My first Blu-ray, the first Blu-rays that I bought were from a closing Blockbuster. In Aberdeen, North Carolina, I bought The Book of Eli and Gran Torino, I think. The two I bought. So, and then I went to Best Buy and bought Inception. So
there you go.
But it's really cool. And I just want to say real quick, my father-in-law, Jim, if you're watching, you still have my Blockbuster shirt that I got at Target. You borrowed it at Summer in the Sun last year and you never returned it. So,
wow. Wow.
So,
one of those I see.
I'm going to have to get that one back and probably buy one from this company, from Bend, just to support them.
Yeah. So. I don't blame you. Bend, thank you for keeping the last one open and giving us something else to try to support you with. Like, I want that hat. Like that.
Did you watch the news clip? They had some really cool masks too.
The lady, oh no, I didn't see the mask.
Yeah, the lady was doing the interview and she had the mask on and it was blue and it just said Blockbuster Video on the.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, I would like that too.
Be transported to a simpler time, time of Blockbuster.
A time of Blockbuster. So there you go. If you didn't know that, I hope you know that. go buy yourself a hat or a t-shirt or a hoodie
Yeah.
or sweatpants. I might want the sweatpants just because.
Get the whole outfit.
Yeah, get the whole outfit.
Yeah,
So,
those hats were sick.
Yeah, they were sick.
Mhm.
But so that's all the movie news we have for you guys today
Mhm.
in the movie news world.
Thank you for going on this journey of news with us.
Yes. And we were glad that we had news to talk about. We haven't done a news
Mhm.
one in a while because there wasn't much to talk about.
No.
But on Monday, Gary, because Gary, tell him what we're doing Monday.
We are talking. Hold on. We're talking some baseball on Monday, folks.
Oh yeah.
9 innings of baseball movies. Our favorite baseball movies on Monday. It's my old base. This is a classic baseball glove I have.
Perfect.
Anyway, yeah, Monday we're gonna do noon, 12:30.
Yeah, we'll be at noon.
Yeah, noon.
Noon on Monday.
We're gonna talk about our favorite baseball movies. We'll do 9 of them for 9 innings.
Yep.
And why we love this amazing game and our history with it.
And we might have some extra innings as well.
Extra innings, honorable mentions. I'm excited, for this episode because just baseball is a big passion of mine, and with that, baseball movies also passion of mine.
And there were so many of them when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So many to choose from. Exciting. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about it. 2 guys who love baseball. Gary loves it probably more than I do, which is fine. But he loves it more than I do, and so I'm excited to do this one. But I grew up playing baseball. I love baseball too. And let's just put it this way: Gary's more knowledgeable of current baseball events, and he's more tied into it than I am. But
the current baseball events are kind of weird. But the Red Sox beat the Mets last night. 2 games in a row they won.
Nice.
They win tonight. That's a winning streak.
Boom.
So, playing the Yankees though.
Yeah, the Braves are doing good, pretty good for me. So I'm excited for that. But so
hopefully the season continues because
So we figured in honor of baseball being back, we talk about our favorite baseball movies. Mm-hmm. So we're excited for that. And so that'll be Monday. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on the bell so you don't miss out on Monday and future videos. Gary and I have been talking about some other cool, fun stuff that we want to do with this channel. So subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out on anything that we have coming.
You don't want to miss out. We got some cool stuff coming. And our apologies for being gone for a couple weeks, but life happens.
Life happens, but we are committed to this channel. Do not think that we are backing out. We had a youth trip and we had family things to take care of, but we're back. We're ready to roll.
We back and ready to roll.
Yeah. So you guys have a great day, and we will see all of you on Monday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.